Danby.
Yes.
Foxic's crap.
What is up, Robot Wars fans? Hardcore Kid here with a super ultra extra amazing edition of the Hardcore Podcast.
What's your name?
I am Brandon, but my stage name is the Hardcore Kid
because he's American.
Yes, I am I'm the only American here, and I'm surrounded by a bunch of dudes from the UK, possibly Scotland, possibly Ireland.
You sound Australian.
I do. Well, I am half German and half Irish, so maybe...
None of those are Australia.
I love how Shane's just trolling you instantly. Can't even start the podcast.
Oh, we're already...
Oh, is that the start? Have we started?
We started already. Don't worry, this is going to be an hour and a half of just pure trolling and everybody talking over each other.
I don't see the downside of having 6 people on the podcast.
Let's start over. I'll play the music.
No, you don't have to start over. This is brilliant. Keep it in.
All right. So I guess if you haven't heard from the 8 million voices playing here, we got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Guys Burgers as guests here. No Nate, unfortunately. He had work commitments. So in his place, we have the ever popular, the ever nerdy, the ever trustworthy Alexthehunted.
I'm only here because I'm the only person who can record this.
Yeah, they recommended DVD Skype recorder, but I
Use
took
open
a nap.
broadcast. I keep telling you to do it.
I took a nap before we started, and then by the time I realized, I was like, shit, and then...
Typical American, always having to be lazy.
How dare you? And we were going to have him for episode 3, but unfortunately he was actually in Russia for a robot event. He and his brother Chris are currently competing with Kyle Singer's Big Ripto on how many arenas he can destroy. It is, of course, Team Foxic's Craig Danby.
Hey.
We're lucky to have him. We're lucky that he didn't disappear while in Russia.
Yeah. Did you meet Ivan Drago?
I did not.
Oh,
He did.
Quite short, actually. I was quite surprised. I expected them to be nice, tall people. They were not. They were reasonably short. That's disappointing.
And we also have in an attempt to get guests on the show, Indians Doing Chaos. We ended up getting the entirety of Team S-Tech on here.
Hey.
Hello.
Yes.
Starting with the team captain, he built Push to Exit, which is not the first of many robots he's built. He actually built a few robots for the original series, including Hell's Teeth, Trax, and Envy. And
Trax was a good robot. Everyone gives it shit. Trax was a good robot.
What do you mean everyone gives it shit?
Yeah.
Some people like to compare him to Rob Mosaic. I find that preposterous. We all know Shane is actually Canadian.
What?
Shane builds every robot with a hammer anyway. We all know that.
It is, of course, Shane Swan.
Hello.
Hello. Or as we like to call him, Swanee.
It's the first time he spoke to me.
Oh, really?
Do you call me Swanee when I'm not there?
Yes. He calls you Swanee all the time.
Swanee.
Woohoo!
Everyone knows Swanee is the word.
It's either Swanee or Clarkson.
And and joining us are the other members of Team S-Tech. We, of course, have VoteSaxon07.
Hello, YouTube viewers and random Robot Wars fans. I am pretty much the Chris Moyles of YouTube Robot Wars episode reviews. Ha! There's a reference that you don't get, America.
I didn't get it either. And last but not least, I hope he's still here. His icon's like in the bottom right corner. It is the guy. Who are you?
You forgot his name already.
Holy crap!
It's Anthony Murney.
Hello.
That is just disrespectful.
So you said you had trouble getting guests on your show, Brandon. I wonder why.
I got 8 million people on here, and I'm already forgetting everybody. Woo, this is going off to a great start. No, it is Anthony Murney. He's a big fan of the show. He wanted in, and as a result, we got everybody on here. So
Totally not going to regret this.
oh no, I regret nothing.
So what do we actually talk about then?
The episode.
We talk about the episodes. We talk about the robots, their performances, and then we critique the matches. Because
see.
I am in fact a critic. And
Really?
yes.
Okay.
And all I have to say is you guys were all terrible in this episode. No, I'm just kidding.
I wasn't even there.
Oh.
You're everywhere, Danby. You were there.
No, sorry about that.
You made a cameo.
He was in the background wearing a Thor t-shirt. He was there.
And you were also in it with a scene with Team Nuts' jacket.
Yes.
One point, I was like, yes.
I didn't see that.
It was funny. I
I
see
carried
see
4
Craig.
times.
I see Craig in the background there during the Thor interview, and I'm like,
You okay, Craig? Have you just fallen off?
It happened.
just exploded. It looked like he was stalking Jason, possibly trying to get revenge for when he basically taped all the tools to the desk.
That was rather funny.
Yeah. I was
In hindsight, it was.
when I saw that scene, I was like, "What's Craig? Is Craig opening something?" And I don't only when it was told that, oh yeah, Jason just in between your fight just taped all your tools to the desk. It's just like, so that's why he was really pissed.
They also didn't show the fact that I clean filmed the entire of Thor and all of his tools individually in his toolbox, and then wrapped up his toolbox, and then I rubbed cheese on his motors so that when it came out of the fight, it smelled really funny.
Oh, God.
They
So
didn't show any of that.
this is basically what Robot Wars is behind the scenes, just everyone fucking with each other.
Didn't you also put stickers on it as well?
I did. He ripped those off pretty quick.
Yeah, I saw a whole bunch of Team Toad stickers around, and I'm thinking, let me guess, Craig toaded everybody.
I was annoyed with him, so I emptied my stockpile onto. I covered Thor in stickers. Literally covered all of Thor in stickers.
Jeez, and you'd think if you had them on him, he'd think they'd make him invincible against Magnetar, but apparently not.
See, maybe if he'd left a couple on, none of that would have happened.
Yeah,
Jason's slowly becoming the new Behemoth, and he can't win a heat.
Well, to be fair, he is a grand finalist. He got the wild card. But, yeah, I guess before...
How do you think we feel? We haven't won a fucking fight.
Hey, you still have a chance.
Hey,
Don't give up.
Shane, you've got a robot in the Combat Robot Hall of Fame. Jason's got nothing.
Bring back Envy. Yeah, I guess we'll start critiquing each of these machines, and I guess we'll start off with the Heat winner, what I like to call Pulsar on steroids, Magnetar.
Is there anything really to critique about Magnetar? Because Jesus Christ, Ellis finally got things working.
Yeah, he got more armor, a bigger drum weapon, and he basically destroyed everybody in, I don't know, 2 minutes tops.
I thought he was rather lucky.
Oh, really?
That being said, like none of the matches lasted that long, so we don't know. Like we don't really know if what would happen if Magnetar went full 3 minutes, if it would overheat as usual.
I just think he was so lucky we broke down.
True. True. I mean,
Luck, judgment.
Okay, he's got a spinny weapon on there. It's okay, I suppose.
it sounds like a jet engine when it spins up, and it's.
Yeah, something like that. It's,
Shane,
when
we
you're
broke
actually
down
there,
because
it's
he
not
hit us
that
with the big
great.
spinny weapon.
What's up?
Yeah, Shane, we broke down because he hit us with the big spinny weapon.
I know, but still, it was a lucky shot. I'm not bitter. He's actually a fantastic robot.
Yeah.
Very, very well built. What a little engineer. I actually like Ellis personally.
Oh no, you can't call him Ellis. It's Ellis Boy Genius.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to call him that, though. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't want to get copyright infringement from Jimmy Neutron or something.
Dexter's Laboratory.
That's the one.
Yeah. I gotta say, like, him saying that's gonna stick with him forever. Like, he says, "I don't like being called Boy Genius." Now everyone's gonna call him Boy Genius. They call him Boy Genius.
That's right.
They call him Boy Genius like 3 times on the show.
You know,
It's a
if
fact-
I do get a copyright claim for Thunderstruck, I can always replace it with the Dexter's Laboratory theme or something.
Dude,
Da,
it's
da,
a
da,
good
da.
song.
But yeah, the Magnetar pretty much dominated everything.
I also
Didn't
gotta
really
say,
seem to
like,
be.
just aesthetically wise, what a gorgeous robot it is.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. It looks solid. It looks destructive. It looks
It looks like the most beautiful Meccano set never released.
exactly. And apparently, it uses magnets. What's the story
How would
with
they
that?
work?
So he's got 4 magnets on the bottom of the robot, sort of around the wheels, and it's supposed to help keep the robot on the floor. It doesn't seem to work.
When it gyrates. And as someone uploaded onto YouTube, I think Alice uploaded onto YouTube, they're also a bitch to get off.
Yeah, I seen that video. That was a good one.
I think it did. I think it did actually help with his drive. He did mention something that it drove a little bit better than Pulsar, but not when the weapon's up to full chat.
Yeah, then the gyro just negates everything of that.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, how could you build a spinner to keep yourself on the ground, but not want to do the gyro dance at the end?
Which makes me... I thought magnets were banned in Robot Wars. Or Robot...
No.
People are using magnets. Like, I think you can't use them as a weapon. You can use them for, like, you know how, like, Bite Force has all those magnets on their tracks? And
Right.
yeah.
Who's Bite Force?
No idea.
Is
Is that some American like game show thing or?
Yeah, I mean, it's not... I mean, I don't know. I don't think it would really last very long. I don't see it getting a third series.
Yeah. Hashtag bring back Series 3. How is it Robot Wars gets a third season, but BattleBots doesn't?
Gets 3 series in 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a Christmas special.
2 Christmas specials, isn't it? Well, I think everyone... It's the worst kept secret of the UK versus the rest of the world episodes.
I'm not saying anything.
I heard it's an Armed Forces special.
There's no Armed Forces special.
It's... Maybe it's a Minor Meltdown or a House Robot Rebellion?
I don't think so.
That's gonna be the 10-way.
Yes.
I just find it funny how usually they only have one house robot in the arena for the opening melees, I think, to make room, and yet they stick Kill-A-Lot and Shunt in there with 10 other machines. It's like, boy, as if the arena wasn't as much of a clusterfuck already.
I think that's more of a control thing. So if a robot were to catch fire or go out of control, you do need like a big house robot in there to go and pin them down.
Yeah, I mean, it's not... I mean,
you could potentially have 3 or 4 going at the same time, so you need a couple of house robots just to usher them all together.
yeah, I mean, it's not like the house robots would lose control.
But I think that pretty much covers Magnetar, an absolute beast that Ellis has created, and looks like it has a good chance in the grand final. We'll have to see what happens. So we'll move on to the runner-up of this heat.
Yet again.
Yeah, I know they don't do rankings, but I like to rank Thor number 6 because I feel like it should have made the grand final above Apollo, but
I agree.
But yeah, the number 6 seed is Thor.
It comes from the land of the ice and snow.
It went through Ragnarok.
It did indeed.
And I'm a big fan of Thor. And I personally think watching the fights, it just looked to me like his hammer didn't have the wallop it had in the last series.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's true or not, but it just didn't look as... Because when he had Magnetar up against that wall...
Yeah, they were so weak. I mean, I wonder if he didn't fully repair the damage he got from Matilda or something. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe Craig can emulate on it a little bit. I don't know.
Craig, you didn't sabotage Thor, did you?
I did help him fix it after he did Fog of Thor the first time round. I wasn't there for the second time round because we'd gone by that point. But he did change pressure. He's gone down in pressure because during live events when he was running on, I think it was 16 bar, he kept destroying these pneumatic fittings.
Right.
So they had to limit it. So he's gone down to, I think, 12 now.
Right, so it didn't look like it had the strength it had. I mean, Christ, it looked like Killatron could have probably hit it harder.
No, come on.
It has still got a fair wallop, but
Yeah.
from personal experience, I've seen it hit harder. His driving's he just gets better every season. I think
It's
he's driving. He's an
immaculate,
excellent
yeah.
driver, and he is very unlucky. I do wish he'd just get into the finals. He deserves it.
Yeah, he does. I mean, I know another bigging up. They keep on bigging up the whole. Oh, he's the lone wolf. What was? Even though Craig was in the background all the time with a 4 T-shirt, but we'll ignore that. And Angela brought Craig in for part of the interview, but we'll ignore that.
Shane, you were part of Team Thor, I believe. Team Bud?
Team Bud, yeah.
Yeah, and obviously it would have actually been pretty cool to see Thor and Push Tags that fight each other. Then
I was actually excited about the fact of fighting Thor, but, it just never... got that way, did it?
You could have made the Thor Ragnarok joke. You'd be like, yes, I know him. I know him at work.
Isn't Robot
It's
Wars
the Thor
work?
Ragnarok joke. I don't know if you've seen the movie yet, but
No, you've lost me, pal. I don't know.
One of the 5 people who haven't watched the Marvel movie.
it's a good movie. I definitely recommend it.
But back to Robot Wars.
That seems to be a routine with Thor. Like, it starts out really strong, and then as it goes on, it just starts to falter down a little bit. Maybe it gets a little tired, but I don't know.
I mean, he's got to move on to start building 410 now, isn't it? He's got to start working on.
It's already built.
Oh, is it?
Yay!
It's done.
Well, never mind.
Well, given that Robot Wars keeps telling everybody, oh, you have to build an entire new machine. You can't enter the same robot every time. It's like, okay, then, well, I'll go ahead, grab my 5,000 quid, get a whole new robot built, and boom.
Or like me, you could spend £700 and buy Mantis.
Yeah, there you go. Did you get Mantis yet?
Yeah, I got it this weekend. I had to go pick it up at 7 a.m. So
Delightful. So speaking of completely different designs, we'll move on to a team that was here last year, but now they've come back with what I like to call a fidget spinner on wheels, and that is Expulsion. This is such a Series 3 machine. I'm going to say this right now. It looks like something out of Series
it's the robot
3.
that keeps falling and can't get up.
It does the thing so many times, and
I like the design. I see the idea, but it just didn't work.
yeah, the biggest problem I have with that, I like the idea, like the spinner looks really cool, but it's mounted the wrong way. It's mounted like a bludgeoner, which, as the past have shown, you look at robots like Invertebrat and Fatal Traction, bludgeoners really aren't all that effective. Anybody
Anyone?
there?
I was letting somebody else have a chat because I seem to be doing it all.
Steven?
Steven, Greg, anybody?
Are you there,
Are
Steve?
they dead?
I think Steven died.
Anthony?
Hello?
Steve.
He should be there. Is he there?
I don't know.
Anthony, how far away do you live from Steven? Go wake him up.
That's going to be a long walk.
Well, yeah, we'll keep going. Hopefully, we'll get him back. But yeah, Expulsion's weapon. It just.
Hi, hello.
Oh,
Yay!
oh.
Back.
Did you mute your mic again?
Is he gone? He's gone again.
See, I told you this would be a train wreck. But he'll come back eventually.
But yeah, Shane, until we wait to Michael, why don't you talk about Expulsion?
We'll turn the mic off. It's cutting out for some.
It's cut.
Are you moving around,
It's a
Steve?
PPE mic.
Oh,
Yeah, anybody want to talk about Expulsion?
They're a great team.
no, they're a team that Robot Wars needs. Like, we need teams like this.
They are a good team. They are a good team. I think for a school project, I think they did pretty good.
Makes me wonder how much money this school has.
I didn't know that they had a wee mini bot until
I don't remember that at filming.
No, I don't remember. I don't remember seeing that.
That's because it only lasted one fight. It immediately got destroyed.
Yeah, it's you could say that Expulsion was kind of lucky with some of its matches. obviously with the push to exit match, and I have no idea what happened in the Coyote match, but I think if Coyote had been working properly, I guess it probably would have won. But I don't know. But I do like the team.
They know they're to inspire, like, seems like Traction there to inspire, like, kids, like, see, you can do this already at your age. You can already build these amazing things already, and, you know, especially with Expulsion, like, the pretty much an all-female team. Build it, you can, and, you know, like, we need more females in engineering. It's definitely something that's needs to be done, but it's definitely...
chance to speak to one of them at Burgess Hill, and she was just so into it, you know, like she really enjoyed being part of the team, and she was talking about it like
Oh my goodness. I hear a low rumble noise.
That's probably Steven just beating the life out of the mic.
He was going on this grandiose speech, and then nope.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bless it.
I have to say, one thing that is a tough little robot. Like,
work for fuck.
I have to say, it's a tough little robot. Like, it took a lot of hits and it kept going.
Yeah, I mean, for what is it? So they said it's like it's Hardox with plastic around it.
It's Armox.
Armox.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's fairly solid. It was able to take the hits. It's just, I think if the weapon was angled a little more, like maybe angled like Apex's blade, maybe.
No, don't do that.
it could have been a bit more effective.
Yeah,
But,
I mean,
Flat.
I think the case. I mean, they keep on saying it, like, because we've seen video of it doing the thing where it falls on its face and then it spins up and gets onto its wheels, but it never did it in combat. So I'm guessing it might be a case of it's an idea that works once. Like, I mean, isn't that supposed to be how Apex self-rights? Is that the body spins up and it self-rights?
Apex did actually self-right this series. There was the beginning of the first round melee. We got hit into the wall by terahertz, and we bounced off and landed upside down. And the bar spins. Now the shaft at the top, it keeps it off the floor. The bar spins, it flicks itself back over.
Yeah.
So that's how it works. That's how Apex is. It's kind of the same, I guess. It doesn't really sit on the bar. Mind you, yeah, it probably should do, in fairness. Might stop it coming off.
But yeah, it's kind of around sort of that principle. I mean,
I hear that rumble again.
It would have been nice. It would have
Is
been
that better? Like, can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Fuck me. Like, I've had to put the iPad right next to my router.
Well, don't worry. We got... you still there, Steven?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah.
Oh.
So, what are your thoughts on Expulsion again? Let's try it again.
Yeah, I was talking to one of the team members at Burgess Hill, and it just really impressed me because when I was her age at school, a lot of the girls just wouldn't have the time of day for Robot Wars, same as a lot of the guys. So, like, I was talking to my technology teacher and stuff about Robot Wars and, you know, showing them little designs and things that I'd come up with. And I seem to be the only real one in the class that was invested in it. So I really love with the reboot of Robot Wars, seeing just how far technology has come in schools to a point now where you've got the likes of Traction and you've got Expulsion, and the kids aren't there, you know, just for a show or to have a good time or just to be drivers. You know, they're there because they're interested in the technological aspect of it, and you really get a sense of that with Expulsion. They had this great idea in Series 9 with the little barbs that would flick out from their spinning disc, and in Series 10, they've taken a lot of the criticism and a lot of the faults that they had with Expulsion last year and built a machine which is better. It's not quite there yet, but I appreciate the ingenuity of it.
Oh yeah, no, if you want to see quite there yet, they got Expulsion 3 on the way, as we saw teasers for.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of wacky designs, like on the live circuit as well. They have like this little wedge bot that has spikes on the front and little spinny things on the back. So
There's
they definitely have some creative designs out there.
They've got suspension in King of Bots, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes, that's a flamethrower lifter, isn't it?
Ooh.
Yes.
Oh, it had a flamethrower? I didn't know it had a flamethrower.
Yeah, because that's allowed in King of Bots, because, the Chinese are known for their safety.
To be
'Cause the
fair,
Chinese
I've
are
seen
cool.
I've seen the arena and it actually looks solid. So I've seen much worse arenas.
True.
Was you at King of Bots, Craig?
No, I'm doing the other one.
All right, okay. That's being filmed shortly, isn't it?
End of December, yeah.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. That's
Christ,
why I
let's
couldn't
hope,
go.
let's hope the BBC don't do what they usually do and announce Series 11. Oh, it's happening in a week.
Well,
That or-
I'm
that or-
actually moving to America next week, so if they were to announce it anytime soon, I won't be doing it.
Oh.
Yeah. You're going to you're still going to Robo Games, Craig.
I am, yes. Flights and hotels all booked. Just got to
Awesome.
put the stuff back in the robot and actually get it working again.
Craig,
All right.
did you just actually say you're moving there or going there?
Yep, moving.
Oh, great. Nice one. Whereabouts are you going, dude?
North Carolina.
Oh, okay.
Hey,
Where's that? Where's that?
East Coast, just south of Washington, DC.
Oh, nice.
And
Sounds
what's
good,
your
mate.
exact
Sounds-
and what's your exact address so we can tell everyone online?
No
It is.
doxing, please.
White
I don't
House.
want Craig getting sent hate mail or any horrifying presents.
No, I've already had a couple of them.
Oh God.
So speaking of Craig, I think we'll move on to the robot that took 4th place. This was originally Tanto. Now it's Coyote.
Coyote.
Yeah. Wasn't and this was
Yeah.
they were reserved when they originally it was supposed to be Deadlock in that originally,
Yes.
but Deadlock was in pieces when it arrived. So
Deadlock was the all-in-one piece when it arrived, and then they probably took it apart because it wasn't finished internally, and then they couldn't finish it in time.
yeah, because there were two reserves in this one because it was Hobgoblin and Coyote, and there was it was Deadlock and Triforce, or was it Point Break? It was one of those that they
I
replaced.
think it might have been Point Break.
Because isn't it Point Break had to withdraw because they failed the safety test?
I think that was, yeah.
Yes.
So Coyote, for the most part, it looks the same design, but it's got a little bit more of a paint job to it. It kind of reminds me of one of the Death Claws from Fallout with that weird, scary snout at the front, and it still got the chainsaw at the back, which it never used.
and the Minibot Roadrunner.
Yeah, I like that little
Which
one.
it did use.
Yes.
It did use it. Activated the pit release, and it did what it could. So
Although Roadrunner did look like a Roadrunner if it actually got hit by the boulder that Coyote dropped.
It did.
yeah, but,
I actually like Coyote.
Yeah,
It's,
me too.
I think it looked different. It was innovative.
don't worry, Alex.
I know. I just like it. It's plumbing all the way around the outside. I mean, his weapon, I'm sure that would have been quite effective if it had all come together and worked. That would have been a real good grabbing weapon, But
Yeah.
it was let down a little bit. I don't know why or too much about that or what went wrong, but it was. I liked it. I did like Coyote.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's that kind of grab because that's the thing is like Robot Wars were kind of Rover stocks on the like big flip or big spinny hit robots. We need more like control bots.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like people love their big pneumatic flippers and their axes and whatnot, but it's always good to have something that's a little mundane, but it's still very unique and interesting to see. And Coyote, for the most part, it definitely. I think we didn't see its full potential, but we got to see what it was capable of doing. And
Yeah, I get. Yeah. If we'd seen it its full potential, I think it would have done pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. I mean, it's funny that it did replace another control bot when it was brought in.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, like you say, because they're always fun to watch as well. Control bots when they grab something, always like when Complete Control grabbed something and just smacked it around when it got a hold of it, like something like that. We need more bots.
Who's
like
Complete Control?
that. No idea.
No, I've never heard of it.
No.
I think it's a full-bodied spinner.
Something like that.
Okay. Must be on another series like
I don't know,
Coronation
yeah.
Street or something.
I feel like it probably would have lost to Team Razor.
Who?
No
Yes.
idea.
Razor who? So now, I think that pretty much covers Coyote. got a little unlucky, I think, but it was good to see it
Speaking of
do what it
unlucky.
could. But I guess we'll move on to, speaking of luck. I'm sorry, but I must move on to push to exit.
Who?
Yeah,
I don't know,
it's
but I think it's some robot that some Irish bloke owns now.
yeah, it's big, it's blue, it's covered in all kinds of crazy dreadlocks. It looks like it might have come from Jamaica or Africa or some kind of...
It looks great. I love the look of Push to Exit because it
It's
looks
a
like a
go-
stealth bomber to me.
It's a gorgeous machine. It's just so sad that it just doesn't want to work. Like,
The thing is with Push to Exit is it hasn't been tested enough. It's only 3 fights it's ever had have been in the arena.
Yeah, and I had that little didn't you have also that little basically like pretend fight with Big Nipper for the application?
Yeah.
Video?
There's a big difference between testing and fighting.
Yeah.
But yes, it ran perfect absolutely everywhere in the on the Dodgem track. It's fought Big Nipper on there. It was all right in the test arena. Put the TV cameras on it. Crap.
you know what? Like, what radio are you using? Like,
Sorry.
what controller and what receiver do you use?
Oh, sorry. Spectrum.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
Everyone uses Spectrum, don't they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
There
those
was
are
nothing wrong. It cut out because of a wire. My dodgy soldering. It desoldered a wire. It was a little bit intermittent. That's why when it hit, it was moving the wire off and on the connection. When it loses signal, it'll die, rebind, and then go again. And unfortunately, it had one bit
All you
too
had
many.
to do was move forward or backwards. That's all you needed to do.
or
Yeah.
flip.
I know.
And I believe Steven was operating the flipper.
I was, yes.
You got a good flip.
One good flip. I will say, once Push to Exit's flipper was actually working and got that one flip in, it looked great. Like,
Oh, you
just
can
that
blame
one
Shane
flip
for
in
that
on
one.
Hobgoblin, just toss him right on his back.
You can
That
blame
was-
Shane for that one. It was his bright idea to put the buffer tanks in it this year, so the flipper is immense. It's just a shame that we had the problems that we did have.
Oh well, that's the thing is like we need more front hinge flippers because I think it is Shane. You're the only person who really makes them.
Yeah, they're very hard to... there's a lot of flaws with them. That's why. I mean, people believe in the other way round, the evil way round flipper. But it's I don't know. I just like them, don't I? It's my trademark. I've had a lot of success with Envy. I know I can build them. I know I can make them work. You just need a bit of luck to go with it, I suppose, don't
We
you?
need a robot to take Firestorm's place, and I know you don't know who that is, but you know.
No, haven't a clue.
But you know what? Is Push to Exit going to continue competing, like on the live circuits?
I honestly don't know what I'm doing yet.
Because we definitely want to see more of it. We want to see it win some fights, flip some bots, get some OOTAs.
The
yeah,
other stuff,
we do.
make pancakes, run for presidency.
We do want to see it. I want to see it more than anybody. But when you've been doing it for so long and adding off, sometimes your day's up, isn't it? Your time's up. So we'll see. We'll see where we go. What we do.
Well, no, as most of us in the Robot Wars group have basically say, we hope this isn't the end because you're with Craig and Jason and Team Behemoth and all that sort of and Ian Watts, you've been here for ages. You've been doing this for ages.
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
When you're doing it for so long, you got to stay dedicated.
Or you could just retire and sell all your robots.
Sell all the
I don't
robots.
think-
That's like selling your children.
No one would buy it. Steven's got it now anyway, so you'll have to barter him for it.
Ooh, Steven's got it now. You going to be fighting with it, Steven?
We'll see. We'll see.
Okay, but
Tell him
yeah.
anything. Don't tell him anything.
Okay. Secret. Shut up.
Shut up already.
No, I refuse. I'm going to continue to make fun of you guys until you finally win the big one.
Yeah, okay.
A fight.
We'll be here a while.
Yeah.
No, we're gonna take it to all the conventions and charge money for it and stuff now. Because we're big time celebrities. We've been on the television and all that now, so we can take Push to Exit to conventions and charge millions of pounds in order for people to get a photo with it and stuff. Oh wait, that's right. There are no conventions in Northern Ireland. Fantastic.
No, honestly.
Who wants to go to Northern Ireland?
That was a dig at Comic Con, wasn't it there, Steve?
Just a bit, just a little bit.
Yeah, push to exit. It did things. It didn't do things, but we still love it.
The potential's there. We just need to iron out the flaws.
Exactly.
No,
That's
I mean,
exactly.
in all seriousness, I think it's an excellent robot, and of course I'm biased. But, still, I think it's a great, great robot. Like, this has the potential to be the successor to Envy in every single way. The only thing that's let us down is a few slight technical problems, but as soon as we get those ironed out, and again, as Shane said, it's from a lack of testing. Mm-hmm. In fact, like, if anything, I was the one pushing Shane to test it in the test arena.
Oh, God, that was fun.
At one point, I actually had him bring it into the test arena just to turn it upside down to see if it would land properly on the flipper blade so it could self-right.
You know how confusing that was for me when I disappeared and came back and there was like, where'd they go? And there's just a silence between the two of you. It was like...
Not as confusing as the time that I fell asleep.
Yeah, and everyone thought you died.
Yeah, it sounded like there was like a low rumble, which I can still hear, and I was like, uh-oh. Is there a tornado over there?
No. Tornadoes with Toron.
Yeah, that was push. That's push to exit. It keep it up on your future endeavors.
Or go to Crufts, which for some reason they seem to be really interested in on Robot Wars.
Yeah. So
nothing wrong with Crufts.
Nothing wrong at all.
No.
We'll move on to the final robot in this heat, and somewhere over in wherever Anderson lives, I'm sure he's
in a corner
laying in bed crying. Hobgoblin. The other Marvel entrant, and unfortunately it wasn't very marvelous, although it did have its moments, including one particular moment, which
Actually,
was...
two moments. They cut one of them.
Oh, yes. But, Hobgoblin, and it's like, I'm a big fan of egg beaters. Like you look at some of the beetle weights or ant weights or sometimes even feather weights, and egg beaters are really powerful weapons.
They are, but I don't know if they work in the heavyweight category because
I think
they just haven't been proven yet in the heavyweight division.
Okay.
Yeah. One of the biggest problems I think with Hobgoblin was that it didn't really seem to have a whole lot of traction. Like it was having trouble turning, or maybe like all the power was going right to the drum and it just wasn't getting enough power to the drive.
Sorry.
I think Harry's using these very underpowered motors for drive. I think if he upgraded his drive to something with a bit more grunt, that would probably solve all of the issues that people have perceived it to have. It does run upside down. I've seen it going. I've seen it doing the spinning thing, and that works. We've all seen it now. Harry knows what he's doing. I just think the drive motors are probably a bit on the...
Weedy.
I think maybe he's got the same problem as Sabretooth, where they had one power system, one 48-volt power system for the entire robot. And when they spun up the drum, they couldn't drive. When they drive, they couldn't spin up the drum. Maybe it's something like that. Maybe he just needs two separate power systems. You might already have that. I think his motors are underpowered. That's what I think.
Well, I mean, you could probably just, I don't know, maybe get one of the same motors that, because doesn't Aftershock run on scooter motors?
Yes.
So, and Aftershock's pretty nippy, so I would probably, say get those.
You know what I've noticed is that some of the teams, they actually have two different controllers. Obviously one is for the drive, the other one is for the weapon.
Push to
maybe
exit has a big nice button.
Maybe have two different systems where one battery, one speed controller, one receiver going to the drum, and then maybe this separate for the drive. Are you allowed to have something like that?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not. You can have more than one removable link on your robot, can't you?
Well, I've got three.
Oh well.
There you go.
Answers my question. Yeah. So yeah, it's exactly that. It's maybe we don't know, but I want Hobgoblin to work as well. I want it to work as really because it's a good idea. and it can definitely
Well,
prove
it was
itself.
very powerful, so it was. It took out Sean's axe, so it did.
It took out Killock's claw.
Is that... I was trying to figure out what everyone was talking about with that. After he took out the claw. Is that why Sean came in and
Yeah.
started attacking?
Yes.
I was watching the end of the match and I'm like, oh my god, what did Hobgoblin break Kilowat's claw? Because it looked like it was hanging off of his arm like that, and I'm like, Jesus. So, like Hobgoblin has potential, it just hasn't reached it yet. So,
I mean, in all honesty, they brought the 3 house robots got broken in that fight. One even before the fight even began.
oh yeah, because apparently Dead Metal went full muffins and then headbutted the pit release button or something.
Yeah, they drove it in and they just lost control of it. Or her, or it, whatever you want to say.
Dead Metal is a she. Come on, we got to face the facts that it's a girl.
Okay then.
Oh.
Stunned silence
It's a
at Dead
robot
Metal.
at the end of the day. You know, there's no gender.
No, there isn't.
Apart from Matilda.
I've never
apart from
gendered a machine.
Apart from Matilda, because you can't break Jonathan Pierce's dreams that Matilda is somehow alive.
Now we'll crush him.
No.
A robot
going back to
whose
Hobgoblin.
rear end should have their own Instagram.
To quote JP.
I'm sure JP's subscribed to that right now.
Just going back to Hobgoblin, I'm quite a fan on his weapon.
Yes.
Done right, in my opinion, which probably doesn't matter because I'm not a spinner expert, I think if he had that, I know weight issues and blah blah, don't get me wrong, but if he had that longer bar beater on the front, that is a formidable weapon, especially against weapons like Carbide, because I don't think Carbide would beat that head on.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Okay.
With a beater going round, I mean, if you think about it, the perfect hit would be Carbide's blade going in between the beater.
Exactly. Yeah. Because that's what broke Shunt's blade on it.
Yes, because it's got the Carbide's blade hasn't actually got anything to hit because it's air in between, but yet there's 2 blades going around. I think Carbide would lose every time on a head-to-head hit against the weapon, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
if it was just a little bit bigger. So I do actually like his design. Yeah, he just needs to, he's like us, he needs to hone in on his robot and iron out the flaws, but I am a little bit of a fan of his. I actually helped him years ago build a little featherweight or beetleweight egg beater. I've known Harry for years, so I wish him well with that and hope he does good in the future.
And Harry says he's going to, now that spinners are exclusive at Extreme Robots, Harry said he's going to be competing with it on the live circuit. So hopefully we'll get to see more of it.
What is the limit on spinners and on Extreme Robots? Because
125 miles an hour.
Really? Christ.
Yeah, that's, I wouldn't say that's nothing. That's still a lot of power. So.
Just don't let Apex go in.
Oh,
Then they'll be banned
5,000
again.
miles an hour. So,
then they'll be banned again.
Well, we could run at half voltage and we would be under the speed limit. But I've been building a new Apex today.
Ooh.
Or the new Apex today.
What the hell
we shall
happened there?
on to the matches. And we're starting with Thor versus Coyote versus Expulsion. About 5 seconds in, Coyote comes in and just throws Expulsion onto its side, and that's it for Expulsion. And so the rest of the match is Thor versus Coyote, and or in this case, Thor versus Coyote versus Dead Metal, since...
That was a real freeway.
Was this the match where Dead Metal went out of control, or was that earlier?
No, that was...
That was later.
Yeah. Although maybe this had some kind of part into it, but yeah, like I do. That's something I've missed from Robot Wars is when the teams go against the house robots, but that's mostly because the house robot builders are very protective over the house robots.
Right. I must know the secret. Where are the house robot drivers positioned?
I think they're in between the logo between the 2 booths.
Oh wow!
So how do they see?
So they can't
You can see through that.
Oh, right, okay.
That logo. So that's the production office. I think Anthony's right. They are in there. Unless they're by the judges.
They're
Or
underneath,
maybe
they're
they're
underneath
just-
the cloth that they hide it. That they're on top of the plinth.
Or they're just looking through the cameras. They got mounted all over the house bots. Like Dead Metal had those 3 cameras on him, and Kill-A-Lot had those 3 random cameras on his claw and his lance, and it's like, okay.
I like those angles. Anyway.
I definitely like Dead Metal's angle. I still question the angle that Kill-A-Lot had on his lance in that first episode in the Behemoth Apollo match. It's like, what's even the point?
Well, because his lance has to do something.
Yeah, that's true. Since his lance has been... The only time he's ever used his lance was when he got stuck in the wall. So, congratulations. What else about this match? The pit, again, was a factor because apparently Coyote got stuck on it again, but thankfully he was able to get off.
This is really a masterclass in Jason driving.
Yeah, absolutely. He's hands down one of the best drivers in the show sport. I'd say the whole sport right now. He was just having a blast out there.
I did like the fact that Cody his driving was really, really well. Like at the very start of it, he took out Expulsion.
Yeah, that was a nice big shove. It really shows. Coyote has speed and it has power, it's just unfortunate. It's just a shame it wasn't as fortunate in the second match it had with Expulsion. But
yeah, it's more the fact that they took out Expulsion because they were the spinner, and they'd gotten completely trashed by Carbide last year.
They didn't want that to happen again.
Yeah, their main worry was take out the spinner first before it can catch their wheels.
Yep. So, yeah, this was a fun opener, and Thor obviously won the judges' decision. It was pretty unanimous, and so Thor goes through to the semifinals, and Coyote and Expulsion go through to the redemption rounds. So we'll move on to Hobgoblin versus Magnetar versus this third machine I don't remember. What was the third machine? Was it Eric? Was it Cherub?
Oh, something like that. Just as effective.
Yeah, but I will say, seeing Push to Exit get that one big flip in again, it was really nice to see it at least work. Unfortunately, Magnetar came in and just.
I really feel for Push to Exit here because like you had to pick which spinning are you going to go for. Because it's not like, you know, like most other fights in this series have been like had one spinner that all the other teams are basically just ganged up on before it could get up to speed, and you were basically stuck in between a rock and a hard place of who you were going to have to fight.
Yeah, I personally we was facing Hobgoblin. I know Push to Exit's fast, giving full throttle, so in both episodes, I mean on the last series as well. My idea was to get over to them as quick as possible before they span up to speed. But both times I've just completely missed and hit the wall, which is so annoying.
It's your opening strategy. Just
charge. Against the spinner, yes. I thought, right, if I'm facing the spinner, full tilt, over, because if I get under them, you just fire the weapon and they'll be straight out the arena. That's the plan. I'm nearly through the wall and out myself.
Yeah, it's only Rapid that can pull that off, and even though it's not that exciting.
Yeah, well. Yeah, this match lasted how long? 30 seconds? 40 seconds?
It was a quickie.
It was definitely a quick. It was a squash. And what was the damage report for this match, Shane?
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
From Magnetar. Yeah, he did some kick-ass damage. It doesn't look like it on the telly, but you take the lids off, he's buckled the chassis and bent half the robot up inside, and yeah, he did as good and proper. Although it didn't look like it, he fucked the robot up completely, basically.
I mean, Stephen, you told me like Magnetar's drum. It's like it melts through the metal. Is how it cuts through it.
Yeah, it's through hard-ox like butter. But I mean, to be fair, when I first built Push to Exit, I really did totally underestimate the power of these spinners. You know, you've just got to rethink your strategy, and you can come back with something that can at least take one hit. You know,
Yeah, just enter Dan Tom Kier again. Oh wait, you don't own that anymore.
Oh no!
No. Well, it was never. I mean, the Dan Tonkia story is. I won't go into that, but
Okay.
I had Dan Tonkia before Robot Wars was announced. I already had it already. You know, I like the robot. Mike Lambert, bless him, he lives in Dubai. The robot was sat in a garage not doing anything. So I thought, well, sod it, I'll have it and take it to live events and you know, get it back out there. And, you know, a month later, Robot Wars is on. So it was just, oh, sod it, I'll enter with that. That's what I've got. And that's how it was. But I always wanted my own robot, you know. So I've always said Dan Tonkia is Mike Lambert, you know.
Yeah.
It's his robot. It's not mine. So I just disassociated myself with it as, you know, not disrespectfully, but, you know, let it go to somebody else. But
to be fair, there wasn't really much more you could do with Dan Tonkia.
No.
Mike has done it in such a way that there's not maybe you could put bigger motors in, maybe you could put a big more flip in it, but the robot itself isn't really going to evolve beyond what you had.
No, it needed a rebuild, didn't it? I mean, the weapon's really good on it. The drives, he's got a fantastic drive in there. You know, you couldn't really add any more armour. It is what it is. But yeah, you're right, Craig. You couldn't really upgrade it to what it is. But even still, if hats off to Mike Lambert. It's been off the screens for 12 years. It comes back and it does really well.
It gets to a heat final, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. And you know, that's credit to Mike Lambert for that, not me, you know. We went on that episode and just took it as it was, had a laugh. Made me look a right tit, but there you go.
Yeah, I'm sure. Was Mike pissed off at you when you whacked DTK with a hammer?
Not at all, no. Why would he be? It was all for. Listen, it's all for camera. You know, the BBC are trying to make a show. We tried to be add a bit of a fun element into it. Just you American Reddit tossers just don't seem to see the funny side of things.
Yes, stick it to them. It's basically like with any television, an edit can make the nicest person look like a complete villain. Like they did it with you, Craig, in Series 8 with. They made Craig look like they made you look like a complete dick. No.
Yeah. I remember there being a lot more laughter.
Yeah.
Particularly because when we did the VT, which was before the actual series, I was asked, "Do you want to be? We need somebody to be a bad guy. Is that something you'd be interested in?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." Because I don't mind being the heel of the bad guy. It's fun.
Series 10 heel Craig Danby was amazing.
No,
I love
It ruined the lives of children.
I love the fact everyone keeps forgetting that Foxic will push dead metal the whole way across the arena. Like, that was really, really
It
impressive.
was so close to getting him in the pit.
Yeah. Oh. And there's like, or how about Gabe's heel turn in Series 10 as well?
There were a lot of heel turns in Series 10. Michael Oates turned heel on Will. Gabe turned heel.
Carbide was Carbide.
I have a feeling Adam Hamilton turned heel in my own podcast, so I don't know. Yeah, it's fun. It's good to see. Like if your robot isn't like working, it's always good to at least be entertaining with the teams. And obviously, I was so happy when Steven made it on TV because I was thinking, oh come on, Steve, play it up.
And he was.
I did.
He did.
Thank you so much.
I mean, I don't understand. I mean, there's the questionable thing of you going to comfort Anthony when he's on his knees. That would have been a brilliant photo opportunity.
That's going to be exploited.
Yeah.
Well, I just did what I just
Close,
did what came naturally.
I love the fact that I didn't tell anybody what I was going to do, and now the shunt post in place is like, oh, here we go.
So, I guess we'll start off with the redemption rounds, I guess. I'm looking at the wiki right now, and I believe Coyote and Hobgoblin is listed as the first one.
Yeah,
and
this was the fight when Dead Metal went berserk.
I I was actually looking forward to this match because even though both robots aren't super ultra powered, it's a good chance to see which either of them can do. Like maybe Hobgoblin can get some hits in, Coyote can get some grabs in.
It was a good match. It was a good match, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
There was one hit that I thought that would have that Hobgoblin and Coyote got at the very beginning. I actually expected that Hobgoblin's weapon would actually break Coyote's claw. You know, that direct hit at the very start of it.
Yeah.
It's just a shame. It just looked like it was having trouble turning.
Especially
But I
when,
was really surprised.
especially when it got flipped over. Like, he couldn't move. Especially, he was on the flame pit and he was flipped over. He just wouldn't move.
Didn't it? Does it? One of their drive belts snapped in that as well, or in that fight as
It
well?
looked like a weapon belt, maybe a
Something
drive
snapped.
belt. Everything was falling off.
Well, it would have been a weapon belt because it's still spinning.
Maybe
I
it
think
didn't
it was
have
a
two,
drive belt.
or just have one.
It'll have to.
Yeah, because some robots have like two belts to give it more power. Like Toro Maximus has two belts powering.
Sabertooth
Toro
has two
Maximus
belts.
has 4.
Holy shit! Wow.
It's got 2 V-belts on either side. It's a redundancy thing, really, because you know the belts snap and stretch. The more you have, the more you can lose and still be dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I have a Beetle that has one belt on it, and I think I've broken like 2 of them already. Oops. So, but yeah, this match, it wasn't super mega ultra, but there was one definite highlight at the end where Shunt just goes full blown. I'm gonna say
assault.
Base, just assaulted the hell out of it, and then in the last hit, his axe goes right into the egg beater and just rips the tip clean off.
And
That was
Shunt
awesome.
runs away and attacks Coyote instead because Coyote can't rip anything off. He can just grab it. He's like, well, I'm going to go beat up that guy instead.
I thought Coyote was gonna push Shunt right into the pit, but because Shunt was running away the whole time. So
Both house robots got their weapons damaged by Coyote.
Coyote and I guess
Not Coyote,
Hobgoblin.
Hobgoblin.
Yeah, well, yeah, but this match was a little mundane, but I will say it did have its moments.
It was. I thought it was a good match. It was a good. The thing is, like, people will say it's not a good match because it doesn't have like those huge, like, big 2 spinners hit each other and one goes flying moments. But I thought it was a good. It was a good driving match. I thought.
Yeah.
Now, before we go on to the next match, what was it you said in the interview beforehand, Steven?
I said, and I quote, "We're gonna cause some roboteers some robot tears."
Boo!
Oh, that
Shut
just came
up,
out on a...
All they needed was to just, like, I don't know, like, throw a tumbleweed or have one of Gabriel's wheels just roll across when you after.
I did walk away.
Yeah.
And you had your coat.
I did have my coat.
You should have said, try the steak or something like that.
It's funny seeing you in that coat. You look like Shane Swan's son,
Oh god.
Shane
off.
Swan Jr.
Well, apart from Anthony, the coat was the wrong size.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's because it was one of my coats.
Yeah.
Thank God it wasn't winter when you filmed this.
Yeah, no, July.
Yeah.
That was May, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was May.
It was May, and how was what was it cold? Was it warm?
It was
how
fairly
was
nice, actually.
Actually, all right.
That's good because God help us if they have it in winter again, and it's just so cold that everybody's freezing up again.
Yeah, I think that's probably why they're holding off
It's
announcing
like
Series
I'm
11.
I'm in New Jersey right now, and it's, I don't know, almost 0 degrees. It's freezing over here. Could you imagine having the event again in this weather, Series 11?
In Scotland.
No.
Mate, I've just come back from Russia where we did an event in an ice rink. Don't talk to me about doing events in the cold. You know nothing.
It's Cold War II. But yeah, this expulsion versus push to exit.
Can we skip over this one?
I gotta say it. This is probably one of the most frustrating fights I've ever watched because it was, you was like, work, one of you work.
I do have to say, I kind of think Push to Exit kind of sort of should have won because it was actually kind of moving a little bit while Expulsion was stuck on its face, and I thought, I don't know, because...
Yeah, but what you didn't see with that was the fact that Push to Exit would stop for about, 20, 30 seconds and then kick back in again. So I think in the edit they've cut the parts out where Push to Exit just stops. So I think with the judges reviewing the actual full fight, they would have said that Push to Exit had been immobile way, way, way before Expulsion got flipped over.
Yeah.
Such a shame as well. I mean, it's not like it's also a shame for Expulsion because this was their first win,
and it was in a match like this.
Mate, a win's a win.
Yeah, you take it.
You take it. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And it honestly, it was just like it was just so close. If you had just gotten that one flip in, I think you would have had the match.
Flip wasn't working.
It was...
No matter how many times...
I was slamming that button down.
I mean, I was expecting to come back and just... Stephen had it on the ground and he was just stepping on it. Like, work, damn you!
I came close to doing that.
And then instead you just threw your shoe at it.
Yes, I did.
Oh, I love that.
Hashtag Shoegate.
And
Hashtag push to shoe.
Push to shoe.
Yeah, it's a shame, but you know what? I want to see more Push to Exit. It must continue its legacy.
Or as Stephen said, but the sequel robot would push the limit.
Push it to the limit.
Push it to the limit.
I want you to come back with a new Hell's Teeth.
Yeah, that'd be phenomenal.
It did cross my mind, Craig.
Hell's Teeth 2, Electric Boogaloo.
I actually liked Hell's Teeth. I liked the little tornado drum on it and the little triangle shape. It looked like you could have done a lot more with it.
I watched the show, and after you guys went out, I was like, I reckon Shane should come back with a new Hell's Teeth, like a modernised version of Hell's Teeth. I think he'd do really well.
You know what you should do? You should take the Toro Maximus route and just put a huge drum spinner right on the back there.
The thing is, if I did decide to carry on, it would be a front hinge flipper because I've just got to prove it can work.
Yeah.
I can't just give up on it. Although I'd love to build a nice, tasty spinner. It's not out of my bounds, but I've just got to prove it. It's just got to be proven that it's a good design.
Yeah, yeah,
absolutely, man. Let's continue. But alas, it does mean that Push to Exit does go out, and I was very sad. I was a sad panda. I was in fact crying as well.
Oh well.
Yeah. Well. But now we
can get rid of them. We can get rid of all three of these people from the podcast now.
Yeah.
Now to the semi-finals of the Heat, which were actually pretty good, actually.
Yeah, Thor versus Coyote. For the most, it was a wedge versus wedge match at the end, but you know what? It was very tense because if Thor had driven over anything, whether it be the floor flipper or the spikes, he would have been done. Matilda.
Yeah.
The big highlight of this match was when Rogue House Robot gets activated, and Matilda comes out, and Jason just runs full force into her ass.
And then gets thrown to the wall. Like, that was it.
And just gets thrown. And then
I've seen Jason run full force into ass before, so...
One thing I know, I think one thing, and this was an issue that some people had with Terahertz versus Vulture fighting again, was that they were reusing the same competitors. Because usually the winner of the redemption round usually fights the robot that was in the different opener.
Yeah, but they Expulsion and Coyote both were in the same heat, so they were going to fight each other no matter what.
I think they just wanted to have Thor reach the Heat final because they were expecting a better... they wanted the final match to be Magnetar versus Thor.
But that doesn't...
That's what I'm thinking. I don't know.
But they would have put an Expulsion then, and Thor would have just ran into it and it would have fell on its face.
But yeah, so Thor wins, and we'll move on to Expulsion versus Magnetar, and I'll say this right now. I hate the Fog of War. It's the worst. It's the worst hazard in the entire history of not only this show, but maybe Robot Combat in general. But
I haven't had the pleasure of experiencing it yet.
but I will
you
say
cannot see anything.
it's a waste. It's a complete waste of a hazard. Like,
So all the robots just stop
Yeah.
and wait.
but I will say this though, it did. I do give Ellis Ware credit for using it to his advantage, because while the fog was there, he was able to get his drum all the way up to speed and just whack Magnetar like nothing. It was phenomenal.
It's still, I mean, this is the one time the Fog of War has been used effectively, but it just still baffles me that they think that, well, we're going to make it so that nobody can see anything. That's going to make great television.
Doesn't help that you can't see that one corner where the flipper is, so.
Yeah.
You know, maybe that's why all the competitors keep driving onto the floor flipper. It's because they can't see it.
You can't see it.
Yeah.
No.
Since they put the Dial of Doom in, it now blocks your shot at the corner, so you just can't see into the corner.
Yeah, it depends where you stood, but yeah, you're right.
You're gonna have to, so a lot of people have to do what the Behemoth or Apollo do and just climb up on the
Not help.
Kane's a brave person, because that Polycarp is not very well supported.
Yeah,
He's not a light person.
I'm fully expecting one day, just if people keep doing that, someone's just going to fall through it, or it's just going to fall off. And then
Not helped by the fact that Angela and Dara get that whole entire booth, and meanwhile you have like four teams and stuck in one big room, and
thank God they didn't do that for
I think that was simply because the countdown TV wasn't working in that room, so they put everybody in the other room.
Oh
yes.
Just bring in your phone and turn on the.
So that whole reaction thing was just last minute decision.
Oh well. Yeah. Congratulations, BBC. You have a faulty pit and a faulty timer.
I think the arena is faulty everything.
It's faulty everything. You got walls. You got the spikes flying out.
The flipper breaks itself.
Flipper.
I think the only hazard that hasn't broken is the flame pit.
I think everybody's just underestimated the spinners.
Yeah.
That's what it is. The technology's just come on so much, so fast, so powerful. You know, you'll need to be that arena again soon, stronger.
I mean, it still gets me that they strengthen the arena floor with wood.
Wood.
Well, it's on standard theatre staging.
Yeah.
And they just bolted steel to the top of it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Basically, it's a WWE ring made out of metal.
And it breaks just as easily.
And cushioning underneath. No, but yeah, we talked a lot more about.
We haven't talked about the big hits though. That hit though that Magnetar gave to Expulsion.
That was phenomenal. That was great.
That was a great combo of straight in. Expulsion goes flying, lands on the flipper. Great timing by whoever operates the flipper, and then straight that Expulsion went up even higher.
And so yeah, Magnetar gets the win by murder, death, kill, and goes through the Heat final. So we move on to the third place playoff for that special spot in the epic 10-way clusterfuck, and it is Coyote versus Expulsion, and I honestly have no idea what happened in this match.
Was Expulsion having radio issues? Because they just kept driving into the wall.
Maybe they were having control issues because they stuck all that stuff on it to keep it from getting knocked onto its face. And I think the weapon was so powerful it was like blowing it towards the walls or something.
I don't know. It was something because
it was definitely not the weapon power making them do that.
It was definitely yeah. That's yeah. Well, it's just like there's gotta be something because they are actually the Expulsion they're good drivers. So what them driving just forward, bashing into the wall, and driving forward, bashing into the wall. That just doesn't. It feels like it's a radio issue or like a control issue that we're having.
I would imagine it would be a radio issue.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you say like they put the stuff on to stop it falling on its face. It ends the fight on its face.
And then for whatever reason, Coyote broke down. Like, any idea what happened?
Confused me. So it did because, like, the spinner hit the side of it, and then that was it. didn't much move then after that.
Like the claws were moving, but it just wouldn't drive.
The claws are on a separate radio system.
That's probably why.
There's your answer.
Indeed.
Maybe it just got that one hit and then just maybe knocked out a wire or something.
Or a link.
I don't know. Link. We got 2 power links in there, I think. So, yeah, and then Expulsion celebrates by getting completely annihilated by Matilda. But, yeah, Expulsion gets the shock win. I was very disappointed because I actually would have liked to see Coyote in the Rumble.
Coyote would have
Obviously,
been
it wasn't
trashed,
going to
honestly.
It would have been trashed, but you know what? It would have been fun to see it just flying around in a giant mosh pit, just going all over the place. But yeah, with Expulsion's victory, we now have
one more place in the
9
10-way to
robots.
fill.
We have one more place left, and we move on to the Heat final, which is Magnetar versus Thor. And
This was a great
honestly,
fight.
I actually thought Thor had this one when he had him in the corner and just kept wailing on him. I was like, I was hoping he was going to hit the drive belt and knock the drum out.
Yeah, but it like you see Thor's axe just bonking on the Hardock's armor, and it's like, no, it's not going to be able to get through this thing, and Magnetar is just going to send it flying all over the place, and you know what? That's exactly what it did.
It was a very, very entertaining fight. Very
Yeah,
entertaining.
because it was a fight of 2 sides. Because it wasn't just Magnetar dominated. Thor was for a good half was dominating Magnetar as well. It was a really good driving match and really good. Like there was great tactics being used, especially with Jason like getting behind Magnetar to push it in the wall so they could push it and not get themselves damaged, and hopefully drive and hopefully push the drum into the wall and damage it somehow. But it's great tactics and great fighting in that.
That and the machine stood up so well to some of the hits from Magnetar. Like right at the start of the fight, Thor was flipped upside down from one hit from Magnetar, and they recovered wonderfully.
Yeah,
I will say the chicken wire certainly was effective.
Do you know, out of this whole episode, I haven't actually seen one device work to stop spinners.
No,
I thought Gabriel's nearly worked on Aftershock.
Kinda.
And they take out that Big Nipper as well, I think.
But Big Nipper, he was able to use the maces to knock out Big Nipper, but it wasn't
didn't actually take out the weapon though, did it? What he was designed to do.
No, the weapon's still going, but I think the closest I've ever seen it to actually being used effective was when it got tangled up in Aftershock's blade, but it didn't really do anything. And
It was on the wrong
You know
side.
what they need? They need inflatable bananas.
Yes, the ultimate entanglement device.
yeah, Bananarama. But and then basically Magnetar did its classic double hit combo, or I think it was a triple hit combo. But he hit Thor once. Thor went onto the floor flipper, got flipped, landed right onto Magnetar's drum, and then boom, the fog of Thor.
Gee, I mean that was some shows the power inside Magnetar's drum. I mean, it made the Thor do a complete flip in the air.
Yeah, it was great. Poor Jason though, another loss in the Heat final, but you know he still has a chance, a very
Oh boy!
a 1 in 10 chance. Since guess what, he's the final entrant in the big 10-way Rumble, and let's
this is going to be amazing.
It's going to be a blast, and I believe it is 10 robots because I don't think there's any mini bots, are there?
I don't think so. No, it's 12 robots if you count the house robots, obviously. But
Yeah.
But yeah, if you got and it's not like it's not like a 10-way where it's just like all the robots were beaten up when they entered it. It's like most of these robots are in pretty good shape as well. Like
I think if you asked all the Roboteers, they would have jumped at the chance to be in that 10-way.
I mean, actually, I did ask Apollo. Apollo did tell me when I was talking to them in the pits, like, we kind of don't want to win our heat because we want to be in the 10-way.
Yeah, quite a few teams were like that.
Yeah, the Rumbles are always a blast. Like, so that pretty much covers this heat. Magnetar got the victory and goes on to the grand final, and Thor gets the final place in the Rumble. So now let's go through the 10-way, shall we? Let's see. First off, we've got the Series 8 champion, Apollo. Flipper.
It's good.
We have-
Apollo's one of the best, most likely to win this.
And we have former FRA champion, Big Nipper. Crusher Spinner.
Doesn't work when American does it. It doesn't.
I can
No.
I
The British do it.
Yeah.
Let me do a Beavis voice, or
No.
No.
or maybe I'll get to my American.
No.
Do
No
your normal
voices.
voice.
No voices, huh? You want me to use my Stefan Frank voice?
No voices.
Concussion.
No voices.
From Spinner.
It's. I honestly, it's. I kind of the 10-way kind of has me a bit worried in a way. Like, is it going to be? This is going to be the best fights, and then the rest of the grand final's not going to live up to it. As just as amazing as that fight was.
Oh. No. The rest of the grand final is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I know who wins, but I'm just doing it for the podcast and everything. But
Damn it, Alex! You know who wins?
Yeah.
No spoilers, please. So we got Concussion, who I don't know. You know what? I don't know. I don't know. I do not know. But maybe if it can fix up those issues, maybe because he's got a lot of flippers there. Maybe he'll be able to run upside down.
well, he doesn't have the nuts. He doesn't have the nut busters on it, so
Yeah, well, but there's no nuts in this fight.
no. But yeah.
The only nuts are the drivers.
God, I mean, I just cannot wait for this 10-way just to see it because I mean, yes, I say like I know who wins and everything, but I still want to see it. I also I can't wait for Jonathan trying to commentate over this.
Yeah, that'll be funny.
I think it just freeze.
Or maybe they'll have Stefan Frank join them.
No, Stefan.
No, it'll be like the Annihilator on steroids. Remember how motor-mouthed he was during those? It's
Oh,
that
shit.
on steroids.
That was phenomenal. So we have the number 2 seed, Eruption, who I think has a good chance. We have Expulsion, who is totally going to win this, no doubt.
Yeah, I feel so. It's Traction and Expulsion. I feel sorry for because
I know.
Iron Off 6, who is if
I
the
really
flipper
want to
had
see its
been working-
flipper. I really want to see its flipper work.
just
so
flip once, even if it just self-rights, just flip.
Just do something because it's hands down one of the best flippers in the UK, and it just didn't want to work the whole episode.
Well,
Is it?
So,
the best in the UK?
Yeah, it is one of the best. It is phenomenal.
I don't think so.
Who do you think's the best flipper?
The
Foxic.
best flipper
Foxic.
is Eruption.
Yeah,
oh yeah, hands down.
that's true. It's he's Eruption is this close to breaking DTK's record for most out of the arena flips, and
It's
I
gonna
think
help
he has
us.
a good chance of doing it.
Boring.
Boring.
Yep.
There is that
Ooh.
argument about Eruption that is boring. I mean, that's the argument I would say about Dan Tomkira in the original show is he did just go straight for the out of the arenas.
Yeah, it makes fights boring. It's not good for the watcher, is it? Really?
I mean, a perfect example is the rapid traction fight. I mean, yeah, it's the fastest fight in Robot Wars, but it's not exactly a memorable fight.
Well, they had a reason for that. They had a gas leak, and they wanted to get it over and done with.
Boring.
Yeah, well,
Boring. You still like a good old ding dong, don't you? I mean,
Yeah.
would you rather watch Eruption get a robot out the arena in 10 seconds or Thor and Magnetar?
Exactly,
Or-
yeah. I mean, that's the thing. And out of the arena is good, but not when it's straight away.
Yeah, have a ding dong first and then, on the edge of your seat stuff. But I find it incredibly frustrating and boring that they just stick them out of the arena just too quick. It's not good for the spectator at all.
Yeah.
Michael says he wants to make he wants to create a show and do a spectacle, but he also has
He has got a show.
He has that mentality where he just wants to just get everybody out because he's determined to definitely win everything. Like he's won virtually every event in the live circuits, but he really wants to win the big one.
He's
Robo
very
games.
competitive.
He's not doing battle bots.
Hey, or Robo Games. Send him to Robo Games. Have him beat Last Rites or Original Sin.
Who?
No
And,
idea who those are.
Original Sin is like is a giant wedge that
We
has
know who
one,
it
like,
is.
Right. Wedge. It's a wedge. So moving on, I went through Expulsion, Iron Awe, Sabretooth.
If it works.
If it works, I don't know.
It's got to work for the entire fight as well.
Yeah.
Working once isn't really enough, is it?
Not really, no.
Hasn't he lost to half of these machines? Apollo, Terahertz.
Terahertz will be fun to see.
Yeah, it should be fun. Terahertz. I have to say, Terahertz. I was glad it did have its moments, but with all those flippers in there, I don't see. I think it might get flipped out. I don't know.
Here's my question for Shane and Craig, actually, because Terahertz is an old machine now. Do you think it might be time for John Reed to maybe even make a new Hertz robot?
What, like Beta?
Like BC, yeah. But I mean, something he can enter into the UK.
I think he's more interested in Beta.
True.
Yeah. The fact that Terahertz has got Beta's old drive and electronics in this year, I think that helped. But I think he's not really interested. Beta's the project. He's just really maintaining.
Series 11 Beta Hertz.
There we go.
What was it called in the pilot? Was it called Basher?
Yeah, it was called Basher in the pilot.
Oh, really?
I hear somebody actually. There is actually a robot called the Bash. That's
in the UK versus the rest of the world episode, yeah, which is it's a mini Sergeant Bash without the flamethrower.
I cannot wait to see it.
Flamethrower, they weren't allowed to use it.
I look forward to seeing it. And of course we have Thor, which should
depends if you got the, because how close was the 10-way film?
You see,
from the Heat
on the live circuit, Thor's always been good in melees.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, my worry is
you'll find robots are good at 1-to-1 or good in melees.
Like Gabriel's amazing in a melee.
Yeah. And it also depends who gangs up on who, because you're going to get people teaming up.
Yeah.
See, that's a big problem as well with melees, is you'll notice that some of the stronger machines will all rush at each other immediately to prove which one's the more dominant. And then you'll have other machines that are kind of on the outside just waiting on the major damage going down, and then they come in and pick off the rest.
Yeah.
The chicken shit motherfuckers.
Yeah, those.
I mean, it's perfect. It's a perfect example. It's pretty much in most of the original series Annihilators. It always used to be like the big name robot got ganged up on, and then it would be like the one that didn't do very well in the actual tournaments ends up doing really well. Like Can Opener won it twice.
Yeah.
And last but not least, we have homicidal, suicidal, not quite sidal Traction, which
Traction
I feel
tendencies.
so sorry for them.
no buys.
And if you actually saw in the preview, they've just stuck a load of wood on the top of it.
I asked who the heck did I ask? I asked Adam. Did they hang on to your wedge? And he's like, oh, I can't say that, but yeah, even with the wedge or the crusher, I don't think it's. I think it's going to get squashed, unfortunately.
I mean,
but you know what? Hey,
Sabretooth for concussion basically just need to hit the side, and that's it, basically.
Yeah. But you know what? This looks like it's going to be a hell of a rumble, and I can't wait to see it. It's next Sunday, yes?
Yes, it is next Sunday. There's no tennis.
No tennis, no golf, no snooker. I want to see my grand final match at long last, and I want to see Behemoth finally bring that Vince Lombardi trophy back to Hemel Hempstead. I'm just kidding. I don't know.
No, what's probably going to happen is Behemoth's bad luck's probably just going to wake up. It's like, oh Christ, they're in the grand final. I'm going to go make something really unfortunate happen to them.
Just stay away from the pit, the spikes, the floor flipper, carbide, rapid, magnetar.
Yeah. Nuts 2. I honestly genuinely think Nuts 2 has a chance as well as winning this, because everyone don't write Nuts 2. It's a scary machine when it gets up to speed.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I so cannot wait to see this match, but match the whole episode. But Yeah.
I mean, I do know the grand final draws. I won't obviously say who wins the 10-way, but I do know the draws. If you want to say that.
I unfortunately have seen a couple sneak peeks, so I don't know. But
we might as well. I mean, we're not saying who wins what.
Don't
we're just
say
saying,
anything. No
we're just
spoil.
saying in the freeway who's drawn.
I do know. I will say one thing, but I do know that the first or whatever, however they do it, but it's going to be Behemoth, Carbide, and Nuts 2 in a grudge match from Series 8.
That'll be exciting to see.
And the other one is Rapid, Magnetar, and whoever wins the 10-way.
Yeah. So hey, it should be fun. So
Are we going to see some gold plates go a-flying?
some gold plates, some couple teeth.
Yeah.
I look forward to seeing it, and I look forward to seeing who wins. So yeah, I'd say as long as Alex did record the whole thing and my microphone didn't cut out and everyone sounded good,
And we
this
totally
was a
have
phenomenal episode. This is hands down the best episode of the Hardcore Podcast I've ever had. I've had Shane Swan, I've had Craig Danby, I've had Saxon, I've had Anthony Murney. Yeah, but this was a lot of fun.
And me.
guys. I'm really happy with how it came out.
Oh yeah, this was. I can't wait. Next week's the grand. Have you got anyone lined up for the grand final?
I think I'll have Jim Jamatic. I have no idea who I'm gonna have as a. I think the guys from the Activate podcast are gonna be joining us.
Ooh.
So yeah, or we might have. I think we might have Steven joining us. I don't know.
Cross podcast.
Robocast podcast. I gotta say a few shout outs. I would like to give one shout out to Sam Elliott 64 for being the pioneer of Robot Wars podcasts.
I gotta give a shout out to Stephen for congratulations on being engaged.
Yay!
Well done, buddy.
Yep.
What took you so long?
That's going to be a good stag night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, we all expect our invitations in the mail.
It'll be on
Yeah,
YouTube. Don't worry.
Yeah,
He's just gonna have people. Is it gonna be a Doctor Who themed stag night?
Oh god.
Fuck
Oh
off,
my God.
Doctor Who shite.
Oh boy. And any last shout outs?
Nope.
Brother Craig.
Nope.
Murney.
Not a thing.
Murney. Any shout outs?
Apparently
You there?
not.
Shout out to Two Penny Melgate 908. Search him up on YouTube. Amazing videos.
Yes, I'm on YouTube.
I'll be sure to subscribe and like.
Much
And of course, we have
He
the
won't.
infamous Shane Swan joining that joined our presence and gave us many laughs and tears.
Fuck off, you crap.
Oh, come on, Shane, tell it like it is.
No, I haven't got no shout outs.
Oh dear.
Yeah,
I think we should. If in editing, you should just end it with him saying that.
you know what? I'm not even gonna edit. I'm not even gonna add all the pictures. I'm just gonna play audio with a big picture of Craig's face on it, or something, or me
Don't
holding
you still
Craig in
have-
the
Sexy
F5.
bitch.
Yeah, don't you still have the picture of you lifting Craig over your shoulders?
Yep. Don't worry. Hopefully he doesn't give me the coquina clutch when I go to Robo Games this year. So.
Are you gonna come this time?
Hell yeah.
Good man.
I got Mondo Bizarro, and I have my little mini behemoth, Brother Nero.
Did he just cut out?
Oh, his mic went
Playing with
down.
his beam off.
You mentioned Behemoth and everything goes wrong.
There's that bad luck you were talking about, Alex.
Yeah.
I have Mondo Bizarro and my end it all.
Okay, I'm ending this.
Oh, he's back.
All right, guys. Until then, I'm the Hardcore Kid.
He's hardcore because he is, apparently. That's just his name.
Yeah.
You gotta take it for face value.
And say what your names are.
I forget.
Alexthehunted. Two Penny Milk 89,
Yeah, he remembered.
Craig Danby, Shane Swan,
Swanee.
and doomed to a lifetime of marriage, Lord Saxon 09.
Oh, that's lovely.
Or as Steven Universe.
Hey,
So then,
Team
guys...
Team McCulla just gained a new player. Shut your hole.
That's why the people of this world believe in Brandon, Alex, Anthony, Craig, Shane, and Steven! Peace out, guys.
Yay.